Alright, everybody, I go by the name of Zelsu Timius Balls in the building. It is after 17, and yes, it is. What are we talking about today? Real quick, today I have someone special. I know I always say this, but I have someone special. Trust me. I don't even know where to start from. He is a businessman. He's a financial advisor, according to me. He's not only that, but also he's a role model to so many people. I won't say his name. I don't always say our guest's name. I would like them to introduce themselves in the way they feel like. Sir, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, and thanks for hosting me.
It's a pleasure because I've been trying to get you on the show. I don't know since episode 1. And now we're all in this episode, but I'm really happy that you are now on the podcast today, and it's an honor having you, sir.
No, the honor is mine. You see, I've never been invited on a podcast before. Okay? I've never been invited for an interview before. And I've never been praised like this before. So the pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. But how would you introduce yourself? Because what we know you for, maybe we would like to hear from you. Like, if you are to introduce yourself to everybody out there, what would you say you are?
What am I? I'm Clyton. Your friend, your brother. I'm your guy. Yeah, Clyton Shamboko. That's my name.
Oh, so you have pompia to even Shamboko. Inspiration.
No, the name Shamboko actually, this is one of those names where you hate it at first because people are making fun of it. Okay? Then over time you begin to love it because it's a statement. Yeah. You understand? So before you are anything, when people just hear your name, they feel you're something. So even if you are nothing, they just hear that Shamboko, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like just relax.
But no, I like to think I'm a good guy.
No, you're actually a great guy. And for so long, even the time I was actually requesting to have you on the podcast, I really knew you more of a businessman. Then I went on your socials. Hey, and I thought, actually, you're an influencer again. So, like, when did you discover you can be an influencer, or how did it even start for you to be an influencer?
So, I think that title of an influencer, I'm getting it the first time from you. Okay? There are people who even say man of God, you understand? Others, they say motivational speaker.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm none of those. I'm just, you see, it's a situation where in life you were once beat down. Okay? Life was at some point had shown you flames. Yeah. So you don't want just about everyone to go through the same path that you went through.
True.
So that's where you see me now doing all that talking.
People,
you understand? It's simply because I like to be in that position where I offer some form of guidance to people as they navigate through life.
So you used to do it even before social media, that has been
I've always been an encourager. I remember back when I was very young, a friend of mine always used to say, why are you always, whenever you greet someone, you say, have a good day. Take care. God bless. Have a good day. Take care. God bless. Why are you always trying to encourage people? Okay? It's because I just love to be in an environment, not necessarily perfect, because you cannot create a perfect environment, but I like to be in an environment where people can affirm each other. Yeah. Okay? Where you can show love to one another. That's the kind of person that I am.
That's actually very true. And since you have talked about God, I feel like if there's one thing in our research, as we're doing a research about you, one thing that stood out the most was God. Like looking at, I don't know how deep you would like me to ask you questions because we have so many deep questions. Like there was a time I remember, I don't know how you can say you handled it, but I've seen you so many times, despite how busy you are, you're always at church. Despite seeing everybody is out of the country, but Sunday, you see the man in church. What would you say is that thing that made you have a relationship with God?
Okay, you see, like I said, there was a time when life was tough. Yeah. Okay? There was a time when things were not making sense. You are moving, but you're not moving. Yeah. Okay? You are working, but things are not working. Yeah. And you can't see your way out. Okay? There used to be times when I would even contemplate to say, life, because things used to be really hard. Life life can put you in a place where umuntu wakulira kumushi who has never experienced the height of success, who has never been exposed, alabapo bwino, because all that is ever known. So in a limited exposure, that's all you will know. But personally, I'm one of those people where I came from a background where dad was a big man.
Yeah, like
you understand?
fine, yeah.
Then things just you understand? So now and everything. So now when I went to the village, that's when I now faced the harsh reality of life, because there was no way out. The part way out for me, you see. So now I cannot, because it's a long story when I begin to go through the processes. But all in all, there was no way out for me to be where I am today. Okay, and that's how come I have this relationship with God, because me and God, we have a talking relationship. For me, there is nothing like backslide. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. No, I make mistakes.
Sure.
Okay, and the lie of the enemy usually is that it will make you feel like now pain there, and you remind you of the mistake so much that one will be like, maybe I'm not worthy of being in God's presence. So, the reason why I'm constantly seeking after the Lord's face is because He came through for me when life didn't make sense. He has made it make sense. Okay. So in Nguninja, maybe I make sure that I find a church in Lusaka.
Yeah.
If I'm out to the country, I make sure that I find a church when I'm out of the country. Why? Because I have a relationship with God. It's not just a relationship okay. You understand? Because these days there's like a genie where you just want to get to But I've reached a stage in life where when I pray, I'm not just praying for things. I'm done praying for things, because the Bible says, seek first my kingdom, and all these things
can be added unto you.
Exactly. So I'm never praying for materialistic things. I'm just praying that I may be close with God. Yeah,
that's actually very deep and interesting. And since we're talking about being close, and you have talked about your background, like you used to be this person who was raised up in a well-established home, like everything is okay, and you went to the village and you saw the other side of life, and now you're this successful businessman, and maybe there's someone else
successful.
Sir, as long as you can travel, I know elders, you will travel for business out of the country. Are you successful or not?
What is being special? It's a impression. You understand? So yokunganda wachira rice wachisa na uri abwino ufuna ngutulire nsembe wala someone insansa to wala sansa mko wala mbokola mona kwatidi
nsembe maybe nchini
wala mona kwatidi mbiyari balance sana. You understand? We add style to things. Okay, firafine fintofe bale mwena mwatifi yawe inengo wansanga na large polisher wala mbano kuchikumbwa. You will throw something away and I'll pick it, I'll clean it up, and I'll give it style. You understand? So that's the kind of person that I am. I try to decorate every stage of my life. I'm not saying I'm always optimistic, but I do my level best. Because believe me, if you're looking for something bad, if you're looking for negativity, there's a lot of negative energy around. So you need to operate like an aircon. Okay? And
you said you're a motivation speaker. You like?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
But you said it.
I said some people like to say I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not those things.
But I'm not. Okay, I'm motivation speaker. And like, what advice would you give someone out there who would like to start a business? Looking at your background and how you started yours, like, what are the things that, like, someone must actually look out for? Like, if it's a must, you just have to have them for you to become a businessman.
Okay, so I like to say passion produces power. Okay, so if your motivation for business is just money, then your success is going to take very long. So you need to do what you like doing, what you enjoy doing first and foremost. You understand? You're talking about how I post traveling. Sometimes how I post just like I'm just talking, trying to encourage someone. You see, I don't get paid to do that. You understand? But do you know what? I love to do it. So I like to think for you to do business, before you actually start looking, okay, first you need to look at what you like. What is it that you like? Because if you are passionate about something, believe me, when people begin to pay you for it, it will not feel like work. So how you need to be very, very successful in business is by you doing what you like. So let's say if it's a podcast, let's say if it's making cakes, okay? Do that. Don't just look at, okay, Nisha Banto Bareshta Sana these days. Just concentrate so much on what you like, because you're going to work overtime. Even when at first it fails, you're going to continue because you're doing what you love. By the time people pay you, people are literally paying you to enjoy yourself.
True.
So in business, first focus on what you love doing.
Passion is key.
Because no one can copy the heart from your heart. You understand? No one can copy the heart from your heart. No one can duplicate it. It's going to be 100% genuine. No one can even compete because you're offering more selection than your competition. So you need to look at what you love doing and then make sure that that is the selling point.
Yeah. And you know, one thing that's caught my attention right now, you said you're always a happy person, and I've noticed this. You're always that person who brings energy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
If people are quiet, you're like, hey, you don't have to know someone for you to make them feel at home. But do you have any point in life where, like, if you remember, like, even that energetic part of you, it failed to come out? Like, do you have that moment you feel like, okay, now this is my lowest, and how did you overcome it?
What is interesting is that the happiest people that you see are not necessarily as happy as you think. Okay, over time, yes, they get to be happy, but normally it's I'm not going to call it a mask. It's a coping mechanism. I like to put it that way. Like, it's more like a coping mechanism. Okay, you're not always happy. Yes, you have happy moments. You have, like, your highs are high, but even your lows are very low. But people can't notice that your lows are very low, simply because you are this person whereby you like to encourage people. So you're standing in the gap. You stand firm for them, so that you don't want to see them defeated. Neither do you want to see the enemy. You don't want to give the enemy the pleasure to see you defeated. So what do? The best option is to try by any means necessary to look happy. So in Nanguna umbona na izanda nimpya tetu ishiba no kuishiba. You'd think, obviously nakwata sana. I can even buy you something. I'm sure there's a lot where that came from. Sacrifice.
And I remember talking about, like, the happiest people are the most, they look so happy, but they also have their battles they face. I remember there was this happy young man I knew, your kid brother. He was ever happy. And when we heard news that we lost him, it was really very sad. How was that point in time of your life? How did you handle it, and how did you manage to overcome it?
I never knew that you bring that part. Okay, so that was I think that has continued to be the saddest memory. Okay, because like you've said it, there I was trying to build foundation. Okay, I'm trying to drift so much to take side with success. Okay, so I was doing so much to build foundation, and everything that I was doing, I was making sure that it was part of it. You understand? And now imagine where you're disciplining someone. I was so hard on the boy. Okay, so much that when he was sick, that's the time when I started showing him love. Okay, I was showing him tough love, but when he was sick, that's when I showed him that love, soft love, not tough love. I was trying by, telling him, I'll buy you this, I'll get you an iPad, I'll get you Air Force, I'll do this, and then the boy wasn't even talking. He reached the point where he wasn't even talking. I assume enough. Eat something. And I had a strong belief that he was going to recover. Have you ever refused to face the reality of things? That's the kind of person that I refuse to say, no, anything else was good. I'm not going to take any kind of results other than recover. Even when the medicine was hard, I remember the medicine that I needed to buy. yeah, he should have 13,000 kwacha, and I didn't have the money. I didn't reach that point where I'm thinking, no, what if it be a polar qualified affair go afet you know nanguna ikosa nara mushtiro omuti mwachi. And I made sure that I bought the medicine, and it was really a sad moment. Even when I could see that akapafia kosa ifintu apafia shupa mwache like napo atakuwa difficult alefiro kupema bwino mona shana, things are really hard here. When I left the hospital, something was telling me to say natumina kofo ni shani. And I remember when the stepdad called me and said moneko what. I remember going and driving to the hospital, praying in tongues, okay, on top of my voice. I wasn't ashamed of I was praying on top of my voice, and I refused to accept the reality. And when I reached there, the boy was no more. Okay, it has continued to be sad, because everything that I am today, I was building it around him. You understand? You imagine, say, when you look at the picture of your old self, all you see is him. You see him in the picture. Now, if you're pala, you understand? Now, if you're pala, like so, all you're trying to make sure that it becomes exactly a replica or someone who at least emulates you. Okay, and it was coming up great, but unfortunately, God decided.
Oh, that's really sad. He was really very, like, just like in the road, if there are kids, like the way the street was, it's like everyone, like, that's his brother. Then when that happened, it was really sad. But maybe there's someone out there who's actually going through the same scenario right now. What encouragement can you give them?
You know, the encouragement is that nobody understands the mystery behind death, okay? Because we've seen kids die, okay? Baby afwa. You understand? We've seen people with plans die. You understand? And personally, I've lost people that I really love. Okay? And the best way is just leaving things in God's hand, trusting God. One day to come with okay, why did you allow this? This boy was so positive. This boy was obedient. Why did you take him away? I had plans for him. I planned that he succeeds. I planned that he becomes a winner. So why did you decide to do this? Okay? And by the way, you said my young brother. No, it was my son, because he was my brother's kid. Okay? So, and then we only have, like, my brothers, we only have, like, there were only 2 boys. Okay? There was only 2 boys, so so I was really counting on him to say, oh my joy, I can call you. You understand? Okay? And then when it happened, so when you lose someone that you love, I'm pretty sure that what they want for you is not for you to continue being sad. They'd want you to be happy. Keep the memory so close, okay? Keep the memory so close, but know that they want you to be happy. Okay? Yes, ngafia kali pakulira. I wouldn't encourage you to say, no, be strong. No. Let it out. Okay? Yes, they heal fast. Some of us, we take forever to heal, but regardless, it's part of the memory. I love the fact that even now, you understand? To this day, and I think that's the best way I can honor him. I wouldn't want to erase him out of my memory. Okay? But one day, why did you allow this? It was very vibrant and he needed to leave. You understand?
That's really, I feel like I've also been encouraged, because I had a conversation today with one of the cast crew. He just lost one of the best friends. We're talking about why do things happen in this way? Why must that kid go? Like, okay, that kid just, then this I feel like has encouraged so many people out there. I'm sure even one of our brothers out there is also encouraged. And also in our research team, like, one thing popped up the most is when it comes to financial hardware. They kind of taught us on how much you encourage them financial wise. Like, so when it comes to financial wise, is this something you actually went to school to do, to advise people, or it's just you being a person who just try to help people when you see a need that's lacking? Like, okay, you know what, you can do this with your money, you can do that, or is it something that you actually went to school for?
So I studied telecoms at Zamtel College. I've never.
Oh, Zoot number.
Zamtel College, yeah. What is it called now? So I studied telecoms. I've never taken any business course. But you see, we are in a, I can say computer age. Is it computer age, phone age? What is this called? Okay, where information is readily available at the palms of your hands. Okay, so I really take time to, though I've not studied, I've not read many books now, but 2018, I gave myself a target. I read about 12 books. Okay, I read about 12 books. Now these 12 books are like self-help books. Okay, that's 2018. These other years, I only read maybe a book, but I am someone who listens to a lot of podcasts. Okay, and then also na life. Ngakuwa liwe skulu limwe tushita sana neglect. This skulu nilisha kwa tefi bumbeli. Life fair limfunda. Ile inachara ndapo yako wati nalike lepo pari time ili yako wati fiance po fyali panganda. We consider that wishibani nalama. You understand? Ero manje fiasa penafi. Whereby ungole pito muntu asako bati mabozo ya mbonano bali ponsoka. Ale kuseka, you understand? So it's one of those things where, because you have so much appetite for success, because you have so much appetite for nice things, and because you've been exposed, you've seen how things ought to be. So you reach that place where you just don't want to go back to where you come from. Yeah. You understand?
Like I can't go back.
You can't go back because there was a time when you knew things were being done for you. But people are just expecting you to do things for yourself. Okay? So I'm one of those people where I started doing business a long time ago. And this shape is broke. Okay? Pangandanga mrefu afya tumulie bwino kuya mkushai's broke pamen. Okay, now June, around June, I'm is broke. You know, when I'm going to we send out. Okay, and I'm one person who doesn't like you. We are going to conflict or Sabbath. So, whatever to this is broke. Now imagine, but you don't want sympathy. You understand? Because you've been taught be a man. Okay, and you know when you are when you are working in self-pity, you're easy to manipulate because abantu will target to say, we want to answer you. So what really educated me the most was just life, where the hunger, where you know that so it was a slow, gradual process where over time now we can even tell people to say, no, you know what, without Yambuto, concentrate on investing, concentrate on plowing back. Then you start now spending when you want to spend. So there was never a course out. Ni life never has something that to say, okay,
you can't go back with it.
What kind of your kubuela mo to say, ila life ina reka la idia. Momona. Apa nombata kwa nokola sakamana cha. Na radienshi limokula sakamana kwa how do I lose weight? You stop worrying about what you're going to eat. You say, okay, so how do I avoid T-bone? Nderi yako fe, you know, sapa. Agari kwa kusakamana so naradienshi chunguro. Yeah, my ruru chelo shani. But these days it's just like the concentration is just on staying healthy.
I'm talking about doing fine. I can't forget about something really special. As you can see, how is the coffee first of all? Have you tasted? Before I even say the words, how is the
cafe latte? It's nice.
It's nice. Perfect. And with that said, we're at Moka Moka Garden. And by the way, let me say it right. It's a coffee garden in Itawa. It's a gift shop. In case you want where to have a meeting, or maybe I'm going to Madaje or my man. You want a place you can relax, Moka Moka is the place for you. And it's actually simple. It's just in Itawa. Just after Northern Command Hospital. On your left, a green fence, you'll find it. It's actually simple. Moka Moka, the name too nice, you have to say it twice. And I won't forget our favorite sponsor, who's I can't go back. Quite this pala. And then 40 losing weight. If I start losing weight right now, yeah, go bad. But we have so many sponsors on board right now. And the second sponsor we have, please, I would like, because every time when I'm saying sponsors, I want to see if people are benefiting, not the sponsors. Elders, who's our other sponsor?
It's Quantum.
Okay, cool. Anyway, what does Quantum do?
The first Quantum or the Phantom?
I will not face Quantum. Quantum, the better Quantum. So Quantum is actually the company that sells cars.
Oh, Quantum, not Phantom.
Quantum, not Quantum.
Not first Quantum, but Quantum.
Quantum, yeah. So they sell cars, just in case someone's looking for a car in dollar or in Zambia, that's actually affordable and a company that can help you even purchase an OG car. Other people will go on you. If you're looking for a place you can buy a car, Quantum is the place for you. With that said, I'm not the only person who asks questions here. I've asked so many questions, but I have elders in the building who also have Itakomutima. I will begin with someone elders what I have. I say elders with that. All right. Any elders with a question? Senior elders, and you're lucky, he doesn't ask questions much. If he asks a question, be ready.
So from what you've laid and from what you've said, I've picked up that you are someone that really loves to encourage people. You're someone that really likes to look out for people. And now, not forgetting that you are also human. So, in your lowest moments, who do you turn to? Who's your source of encouragement?
Who's my source of encouragement?
That's a very good question. So I'm actually looking at it because you look like a source of encouragement to many people, but now who's your source of encouragement?
Now that's the funny aspect about life, eh? Okay, sometimes when I'm really, really low, sometimes I just reach out to a man of God. Okay? Like there's a time that I was very low. I reached out to a man of God and I just spoke to him. Oh, this is what I'm going through. What? I said, Ulimupondo, you know, Ulimukadi. You don't deserve this. You know, but so anyway, my source of encouragement is just the man of God. Nama pepofe, they suffer. Because you see these days, the more you move in Avantfe, because I would vent everywhere. I would tell everyone what I'm going through. Okay? But I've reached a point where I just pray about it. I don't take it to social media. I don't take it to anybody else because, you know, these days, and you don't want to broadcast your pain. Okay? So instead, I usually just take it to God. So my source of encouragement, I think, is Safe.
That's actually very deep. Elders, are you satisfied? Any other question? Elders, any question? Oh, mambo ko enjoy conversation more. Some question. All right, with that said, I feel like we've really had I've learned so much from you. Despite I had so many questions I could ask, but I feel like your answers have made me realize so much that sometimes you can have so many questions, but it all leads to one answer. And in everything you said, it's like God has been the source of that answer. And it's really encouraging. But each and every person has those words that when they're low, when they're shine, they always fall back on. And here on this show, we call it After 17. So After 17 is actually the words that have made you not to give up. The words every time you feel like, you remember those words. Like it can be, they were taught to you by someone else, or you actually learned them by yourself. What are those words you can actually tell someone into the camera as you're after 17 years?
Where is the camera?
You can pick this one or the other one. Yeah.
That one, eh? So, How many here are Christians?
Bonsete.
So okay.
Nga kwaliba scripture fe otawulingire walaba kapepa ni Romans 8:28. Meditate on Romans 8:28. It says all things happen for good to them that love the Lord and accord according to his purpose. You understand? So at my lowest, I always recite Romans 8:28. Okay? Because I know all things happen for good to them that love the Lord and accord according to his purpose. So meaning whatever, especially if I didn't sanction it, because quite about the morning of where you are just having more consequences of what you did. Okay? But now imagine like persecution comes from out of nowhere. You just need to count it all joy and say all things happen for good to them that love the Lord and according to his purpose. So no matter what you're going through, the Romans 8:28 yakurumbura. So in consideration in Romans 8:28.
Nice. I like it that you mentioned the verse in the Bible that no before even keeps the word I'm reading the Bible. So in short, you're also encouraging someone to read the Bible, which is actually very, very great.
But now it's Romans 8:28.
I've known the words for the longest time, but I didn't just know it's Romans 28.
How many here knows Romans 8:28?
You know, like many people, we know these words, but we just don't know which verse says the words.
Yeah, but very important Romans 8:28. Mufuna mwa checking ingari mini mipere yabo.
I will checking it. Because all things happen for good for those who love him. These words like have been sinking in many people's souls, but majority don't even know. Yeah, I'm verse.
Oh, it's very, very important. Romans 8:28. You know, it's very important the more especially if you are watching because chindemirisha data yabo. Okay. Romans 8:28. When you are lowest, look at Romans 8:28. And then also there's that scripture. Fila yefintungo di pama cameras. But quite by day and that no weapon that is fashioned against us shall be able to prosper. So meaning it does not mean weapons are not going to be fashioned. They will be fashioned, but the weapons will not succeed. They will not prosper. Yeah. Okay? Then also now 2 Corinthians 4:8. Okay? 2 Corinthians 4:8. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 4:8. That we are hard pressed on every side but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, cast down but not destroyed. Okay? Meaning nangu bakamba bakuchitikisho kunoko. Still more, you're not going to be in despair. Bakuponya punch bakufanta but not destroyed. And in Mark, I think in Mark 16:17, which says, and these signs shall follow them, those that believe in my name. They lay hands on the sick, they cast out devils, they shine. And they will drink deadly poison.
But then it shall not harm them.
And it will not, you know the Bible. And it will not harm them at all. You understand? I'm not saying deliberately I'm going to poison you. But I'm saying when they try to poison you, okay? When they try to poison you, they're trying to poison the situation, they're trying to...
And you know, you have now you're a record holder. You're the first guest to ever recite so many verses. So right now you have a record. I'll be keeping it count. Who else who because I've had so many people on the podcast, but majority of them haven't heard many recite. They will talk about God, but majority never recited about the verse. But now, since we've already said you after 17, I always give a challenge. But today I want to do something different. So, because I've seen you encourage people. If one word people left this place, one thing they will remember about you is that you give hope to people, which is very, very visible about your life. Even how you speak, you don't really allow negative words to come in. You're always speaking positive. And the challenge I would like to give, I won't give you A and B. Would you be open? Because every time we encourage, if someone comments, they benefit something. What would you love them to benefit when they comment on this video? Not money-wise, but what it can be mental-wise, it can be in any area of life. In what way would you help that soul that would comment that they need help from you? something to do a long term in terms of their well-being, not just how MP I shall know. Something like you maybe encouraging them personally, like them sharing things like I'm going through this. Would you be open for that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm more than open. If you look at I'm on all social media platforms, but there's one platform that is flooded with people's requests. I do not respond to everything at once, but I always make sure that I follow through and I respond. So they're the people that share their problems. There are people that actually even say, oh, and therefore you post my problem so that people can suggest for me. Okay, so I'm very, very much open to helping. You know, I'm one person where even from you, I can learn a lot. You understand? So, okay. So those of you that are like want maybe us to interact, you can just follow me on my social media handles. I'm sure the moderator or host. Which one?
I think what's about saying? Because what's about moderation? But okay, so, where can they find you? Is it TikTok? And maybe the handles, the names on TikTok.
Okay, so on TikTok, Kanema.
Okay.
Kanema Shamboko. Or Clay Shams. When you type in Clay Shams or Kanema Shamboko, you find me. Okay. I think on Facebook, I'm still Kanema Shamboko. Okay. Instagram, I think Kanema Shamboko. Yeah. Twitter, Threads, yeah. I'm everywhere.
Interesting. I feel like we have reached at the end of our podcast, this episode today, but I don't want to leave you like I want you to go empty. Do you have anything upon your heart you want to lay out before we even go?
But ngapachwa bread ya banga ndanda sana na mwana nishibika sana imagine ngapachwa bread ngali stove load da scriptures
aparuma pressure ya kuluzi na weight
awe ngawe you see if we ngepo feel kuria so the best way no ipika because why ulefu kuluzinga weight why ipika ero wafunga na radi first no ipika first so apanga pachwa bread na mabika pa pana tushugo tunachafu kubovo tutuli hapa
mwisaka mwana
ero indenwe ni yakumwa fe ile ya chipare ile ya muize otherwise if tunokwati mungoyo
all right
nisho lero okay walero pisha kunwa
muna pa magento
we muize hapa chibambwena kaina unjimya sana na untikamya sana so wale mwana ndi muntu sana wale mwana ndi muntu sana so mfuyona ilinganya kwati na wide I need to play along
you have to be according
to mwana ndi muntu sana te mwana so ndingire nangunikana nikana akafelate ndeka nwafe muize fe watekanya ama kamera zinga yashima fe kap what is it so time ni bread kama mafuta
ya ngoga bread ya ngoga this is why ndaba ya ngoga this ngoga kana ina bread
kative fya kative
okay
bana kama makala nta
I would really appreciate it. And with that said, oh man, I love this episode. Whatever goes up must come down. We can stay here the whole night, but it's after 17. We only do this after 17 and not after 20. all right. This is Mocha Mocha. In case you're wondering how beautiful this place is looking like and where we are, it's in the tower. Mocha Mocha, the name too nice. You have to say it twice. It's a cafe garden and a gift shop in your tower, just after Northern Command Hospital. On your left, we are not there, son. Just a green fence, and you will find it right here in Ndola, right here for you. If you're not Mocha Mocha, then and not forgetting Quantum for sponsoring this episode as well. Thank you very much. If you want a nice car, if you want a beautiful car, it's Quantum. I go by the name of Mr. After 17, and we are out.